Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Tim Brooks, Managing Director with Worldwide Technologies Business and Analytics Advisors Group, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDOIQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Chris Bannix, former Chief Data Officer of Danone. Chris, hi, welcome.
Thank you. Very glad to be here.
Chris, tell us a little bit about Danone for our viewers who may not be familiar with the company.
Sure. Look, Danone is a business that operates in the FMCG, or the fast-moving consumer goods business, or the consumer packaged goods business, CPG business. They have three broad divisions in the organization, and actually many people may not know the brands that exist underneath the Danone umbrella. So they're pretty broad-ranging. Danone is in 55 countries. It has around 25 billion euros of revenue and around 100,000 people in the business. So it's quite a sizable business. And they really operate in three kind of broad global verticals. So the first is really what Danone is probably best known for, which is essential dairy and plant-based products, which is the yogurts and the protein drinks in the US and various other products that you may well know. The waters business, which isn't so well known in the US necessarily, but obviously we have global brands like Evian and Volvic as an example, and many others the world around. And then there's the specialized nutrition business, which is really baby food and also specialized food and nutrition that generally goes through healthcare practitioners into hospitals, et cetera, et cetera. So, it's quite a diverse business, global business, and a complex business across the board.
Yeah, it is complex and probably increasingly complex over the last 5 to 10 years in terms of the data that you have access to and what you do with that data. How's your mission changed at Danone over the last 5 to 10 years, let's say?
Yeah, look, I think, I haven't been at Danone for the last 5 to 10 years, but I've certainly been a chief data officer for that period of time and seen, I guess, different industries in that context. So it's quite interesting to contrast, the more driven by regulation industries like banking, financial services, and insurance to, I wouldn't say the not regulated, but the less regulated businesses, or at least the focus is less on regulation, like FMCG and other manufacturing businesses more generally. So, I think also, whilst I've seen that journey into Danone, I also think the broad environment has changed significantly over that time. So I think as CDOs, we've become much more business focused, moved away from, the role has evolved. We're more focused on the transformation path, the human aspects of that, the business results, analytics, and smaller incremental deliveries, where we had to move away from the things that were needed to meet regulatory demands. I think those things that served regulatory demands, that were what we would normally call like the foundations really of the data infrastructure, they continue to remain important today, and not just in regulated business, but also in those business-focused businesses. But we just execute that differently. And I think the mission broadly has always been the same, to enable businesses to use data and analytics and digital strategies to deliver business growth. But I think what we saw was that enterprise-wide type of implementation. We've over the years realized that that's probably not the best way to go to convince and bring the business with us. And now we operate in a space where many of us report to business leaders, and honestly, that really has been a big shift in the world around us. So I think also boards have started to understand the role much more, and the mission has changed and evolved as we've been through that cycle. So I think even in regulated industries today, people are much more focused on incremental delivery. The mission remains the same, but it's less focused on traditional kind of governance and data quality programs, because a lot of that work has been done. It's not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of it is sort of water under the bridge.